Okay, our host tonight will be Liz.
Hi everyone, welcome to Home with Phuntsok and happy Saka Dawa. So yesterday we entered the month of Saka Dawa, which is one of the most important holidays in Buddhism, honoring the birth, enlightenment, and parinirvana of Shakimuni Buddha. And this is an especially opportune and auspicious time to reflect and pay respects to the origins of these precious teachings that we've been fortunate to meet in this life through teachers like Phuntsok. And it's also a time where all actions from our body, speech, and mind are multiplied. So it's a time where we can really strengthen our devotion by remembering refuge and accumulating merit. So we're here today with Phuntsok to honor the origin of Saka Dawa and how we can dedicate our practice to our highest aspirations.
Okay, thank you. And we will do this just as before, and perhaps this time we will have a bit more time for people to ask questions or just to chat. This will be more of a, it's not going to be a heady kind of thing, so you don't have to worry about that. It will be fun. That's what it's supposed to be. Saka Dawa is, I mean, for a very long time, I thought Saka Dawa was a day called Saka Dawa. It wasn't much later that I discovered that Saka Dawa was the entire month. It's the 4th month within the Tibetan calendar that is called Saka Dawa. And there are different reasons why it's called Saka Dawa. One say there's a star that's supposedly very bright around this month, and the month is called after that star. But sometimes you see it says Saka, sometimes it says Saga. So since different parts of Tibetan pronounce the guttural sounds differently, so somewhere it's Ga, somewhere it's Ka. I think this is my own personal reason. I have to go ask my teacher to find out why. But I think it's called Saka Dawa because it's Saka in terms of Sakya, as in the Shakyamuni, the name or the title given to the Buddha of our time is Shakyamuni Buddha, or Buddha Shakyamuni. So Shakya is the clan that he was born into. So I think it's called the month of the Shakyamuni. And since Tibetans love to abbreviate, like Dawa, for example, can be abbreviated to just Da, Sada. They don't do that, but they can. The Tibetan language allows for a lot of abbreviation. So some people's names are really just an abbreviation of their name. You know them by like Lotar, for example. Somebody's named Lotar, his name is actually Lobsang Tan Wa. So you call Lota. Okay, so I think it's, they just shorten the Shakyamuni, instead of saying Shakyamuni, they say just Shakya. So Shakya Dawa, the month of Shakya. That's my personal interpretation as to why it's called Saka Dawa. But there's also the thing about the star called Saga also, which could also make sense. It could be all of them. Okay. That's the wonderful world that we live in, right? So we're going to do a nice meditation, and then we'll go into Saka Dawa. What does it mean, and how important is it for us, and what can we do with it? All right. So let's make ourselves very comfortable. As you are making your posture comfortable, hold in your mind the intention, I'm going to meditate. That's why I am adjusting my posture. That's why I'm making my posture comfortable. That's why I'm making my posture stable. I'm going to enter meditation and allow your instinct, your insight, your inner understanding of what meditation is, allow that to come to the surface so that that insight will guide you through the very intelligence of the body. Okay, you want to meditate? Okay, this is the best way to place the body. Listen to that intelligence guiding you about how to position the body, making sure that the body has stability so that there can be alertness and focus, and so that also there should be comfort so that it will be easier to connect with bliss and ecstasy, which is a necessary a component of deep meditation. So it helps to induce it. And once you feel confident in the posture itself, then you remember your motivation. Why do you want to enter meditation? And let that come to the surface. Hold on to it and let it be like a ricochet effect coming from deep within to the surface of the mind, and then the mind blowing it up and then making it soak back into the body. So that it's not just a part of you that's meditating, but the entirety of you is participating in this venture called meditation. And you will reach a point where you feel in the body. That's the point where, okay, now the body is ready. Until then, you just keep making little adjustments here, making a little adjustment there, wait, and make a little adjustment. And that's the body's intelligence giving you guidance. Hey, bend this, stretch this, straighten that. And you do it. And you feel, I'm ready. And when you feel ready, now we're going to commit ourselves to the meditation with a deep breath. The deep breath is like signing the contract. Okay, now I'm definitely entering meditation. And you take like a last moment. Okay, do I really want to do this? Am I ready? And then you say, yeah, I'm ready. And then you take that deep breath through the nose, gently, fully breathe in. You can hold for a few seconds if you want. And then when you release through the mouth, completely release physically, also energetically. And as you release through the breath, release the body, letting go, feel that letting go, feel the momentum of letting go, stay with that momentum of letting go, letting go, letting go. And as you continue to let go, the breath will naturally come back to its own rhythm. Let the breath, leave the breath alone and just stay with that momentum, that feeling of letting go, letting go, letting go. You feel it physically in the body, you feel it energetically, you feel it also in the mind. And as you're letting go, the signs of entering a meditative state are slowly arising through the body, through the breath, energetically, and also through the mind. And as soon as we notice any of the signs, we rejoice, we welcome them, we celebrate their presence. The sense of calm in the body, that's a sign, rejoice. Whatever measure that is present, rejoice, celebrate it, welcome it. There's probably also simultaneous with that sense of calm, there's probably a sense of pleasantness. This pleasantness will slowly transform into that ecstatic experience. And that ecstatic experience is due to letting go of whatever it is that is holding us from experiencing natural bliss. So that's a sign that this natural bliss is arising. And all we have to do is simply let go, let go, let go in the body, let go in the shoulders, let go in the hips, let go. Don't hold the head, let the head hold itself. Don't hold the spine too erect, let the spine hold itself. And in the ease, in the calming that is taking place, notice that it's affecting the breathing. Your very breathing is taking on those characteristics of calming and pleasantness. As you notice them, welcome them, celebrate their presence, rejoice. And because of knowing, because of making contact with these qualities in the body, palpably, in the breath, palpably, then there's a begin to be a palpable presence of these signs in the mind itself. Whatever measure of calm that you were able to experience, welcome it, rejoice. Whatever degree, whatever measure of pleasantness that is beginning to arise in the mind, welcome it, rejoice, celebrate. And by allowing these signs to be present, then we begin to be aware of the other signs that we have indeed entered meditative state. And we are indeed on a journey of going deeper and deeper because of the very strengthening and enhancement of these signs. The sign that the mind is turning inwards is a clarity and radiance through the very clearing of awareness. And because the clearing of awareness, because of the clarity that is arising, then inner sensations begin to arise. And they can appear through any of our senses, through the sense of touch, the sense of hearing, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, the sense of vision, the sense of thought. So suddenly there arises, there's arising some kind of sensation, an inner sound, inner visions, something attracting sight, either colors or lights, sensations of warmth or coolness or movement in the body. These are the signs of, indeed, we are now touching clarity. We are now touching radiance, natural radiance. So just continue to let go. Let go. As we anchor our attention on the breath, not forcing the mind to focus on the breath, but rather just gently resting awareness on the breath. And when we do so, other things are present also, and we do not chase them away, and we do not grasp onto any of them. And as the inner sensations gain strength, that's a sign for us that indeed we are going deeper, deeper into clarity, deeper into radiance. And focus naturally comes. So while abiding in this preliminary stage of meditation, let us deepen with 3 full breaths, like going into cruise control. Gently through the nose, breathe in. And if you want to, you can hold, and then through the mouth, release. And as you release, let yourself go. Feel yourself going deeper into the calm, deeper into the pleasantness. Feel yourself going deeper into the signs, the sound getting louder, the visions becoming brighter, crispier, sharper, the sensations getting stronger, whichever ones or whichever combinations are present for you, and rejoice. And again, for a second time, gently through the nose, deeply, gently breathe in. And then let go. And let the breath return by itself. Don't force it to return. And then for the last full breath, gently through the nose, breathe in. And again through the mouth. And just take a moment to notice the signs that are present and the strength that they are present in the body. In the breath. In the mind. Rejoice, stay with them. there is a term called Kurutu Norbu, the all-encompassing jewel, or the all-encompassing precious, that which is precious, and it encompasses in itself all things that are precious, all things that are meaningful, all things that are worthy of attention. So think about all the things in your life that you find worthy, that draw your attention. They are worthy of drawing of your attention, whatever it is. Whether they are goals that you are navigating towards, whether they are encounters that you've had either out in the world or within, that have a sign, that have a quality of being significant and precious for you. And wherever they may be scattered in the universe, begin to have a sense of appreciation for them. And as you begin to have this appreciation for them, they begin to coalesce into one kuntu norbu, into one precious appearance that for you includes all of them. Whatever is precious for you, whatever is meaningful for you, are included into that one shining jewel. And see it at the level of your eyebrows. Whatever distance gives you the sense of its presence, whether an arm's length distance or as close to your forehead as your skin, until you feel an actual physical kind of energetic presence. And you keep ascribing to that sense of that presence as this is the kuntu norbu. This is the all-encompassing preciousness. And if you have someone who represents that for you, whether that someone is someone who's alive, someone who's no longer with us, or someone who is more of a mythical character, presence in your life, but it has that all-encompassing preciousness for you. So let that jewel transform into that form. Or you could stay as a jewel. It's as though all those things which are precious to you, that seem to be scattered in various corners of the universe, they are really, in essence, mirrors of one aspect or another of that preciousness which is in your own mind, which is your own mind's essence. Feel the presence, relax. Appreciate the meaning of the presence, relax. And the sense of the presence becomes a bit stronger. And the sense of calm becomes calmer. The sense of pleasantness becoming more and more joyful, more and more ecstatic. And thoughts and sensations are appearing clearer and brighter and more vivid to you. If it was an initial sound that you were hearing, that sound is louder, sharper, crispier, or any other sensation, or having that clarity and luminous, more and more luminous quality to them. Understand that because you have gone deeper and are going deeper. And the sense of the presence is becoming stronger and stronger. So that which makes existence, not just life, that which makes existence meaningful, everything about it that would make life and existence meaningful, they're all combined in that presence. And every once in a while you feel, oh, I'm not just imagining this. This is a truth and I'm in the presence of it. And it may go away. It may last less than a fraction of a moment. But as soon as you make contact, rest in that contact and it fades. And then you keep going back, appreciating everything that makes you feel meaning. And when that sense of that presence being real, present in front of you, let go, rest in it, surrender to it. And it will fade, and keep doing that until the presence becomes more and more stable, more and more stable, more and more stable. You know, for different people, different cultures, maybe a personality that sort of embodies that for that culture. For the Buddhist cultures, Buddha Shakyamuni embodies that. And the presence is not there out of some imposed duty to be present. It is there because of compassion. It is there because of love. It is there because you are special. So to those personalities, and especially to the personality Shakyamuni, we are very grateful for the gift you've given us, the gift of hope, that what we yearn for at the depth of our being is possible. So we place our trust in you. We place our trust in your guidance. We place our trust in the communities, in this community dedicated to what is truly meaningful, sincerely dedicated to what is meaningful. We place our reliance and our trust in you, in your guidance, and in the community who are sincerely seeking what is meaningful. We place our trust and our reliance on you. Repository of all that is meaningful, of all that is precious. We place our guide, our reliance and trust in your loving, wise, compassionate guidance. And we place our trust and our reliance on all those who sincerely seek what is meaningful. Whatever that is within me that obstructs me from being able to from being able to know and fulfill my highest aspirations, may I be free of them. Whether I encounter them as appearing in my environment, whether I encounter them within my own being, may I be free of them. And as you make these kinds of fervent aspirations in the direction of this all-encompassing jewel, see golden light coming from the center, from the heart of this jewel, entering you through the crown of your head, removing all obstacles to all happiness, all obstacles to all meaning. Touch the yearning. Let it breathe. Yearn for what is meaningful. Relax. Receive the golden light. Let it fill you. And let your heart be open so your natural capacity to understand may come forth and be able to make the most of this session tonight. For your sake, for the sake of those you love. Okay, we're gonna leave the meditation exactly where it is and get ready to come out of the meditation. With the intention to come out, take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out the mouth. And as you breathe out, let yourself deliberately, consciously reconnect with your immediate surroundings. Doesn't matter if you were aware of them before, but this time be consciously, deliberately aware through your sense of touch, your sense of hearing, and your sense of sight. All right. Those of you who are familiar with this meditation, some of you probably are, this is actually the very first meditation that you're taught in almost in any, especially within the Mahayana traditions of Buddhism. It's the first meditation that you're taught, and the all-encompassing jewel that you're asked to visualize is to visualize Shakyamuni Buddha, and you're given elaborate descriptions of what you're supposed to visualize, and you're supposed to receive, and the whole meditation is receiving golden light from the heart of Shakyamuni Buddha. It doesn't necessarily have to be Shakyamuni Buddha. It could be Jesus Christ. It could be Moses. It could be anyone that you feel a genuine sense of devotion towards. You feel that this person represents for you what you consider to be truly meaningful. Okay, and that is something that probably a lot of you who are studying Tibetan Buddhism have started to realize. You know, you have Hayagriva, you have Chakasamvara, you have Guhyasamaja, you have Tara, you have Chittamanitara, you have all kinds of enlightened beings that you're supposed to do meditations with. And you're told that, oh, for Tara is this, Vajrayogini is this, and Besharvara is for this, and this and so forth. And then in all of them, you encounter that while you're meditating with one particular one, you're supposed to consider that, okay, this one represents all of them. This one is through this one, all the other powers are present. And it is somewhat a rebuke that I think it was Atisha or some Indian master way back then when Tibet was very new, was being new, a baby being introduced to Buddhism, but Tibetans were already sort of practicing the Dharma, but they were sort of a baby at it. And Atisha, or I'm not sure if it was Atisha, but I think maybe it was Atisha, who said, see, the problem with you Tibetans is that you practice too many deities. And because of that, you don't have the realization of any of them. But if you practice with just one of them, you will end up with the realization of all of them. Okay, so that's what the Norbu, Kuntu Norbu is supposed to represent. So whatever form of enlightenment that you feel connected to, don't feel that what was that term? Left out? Is that term left out? Like you feel this urge to go somewhere because you don't want to miss out on anything. So don't feel that you're going to miss out. Oh, I want to do Tara because I don't want to miss out what Tara will provide. I don't want to miss out on Medicine Buddha because I don't want to miss out what the Medicine Buddha is doing. So if Medicine Buddha is the one that you feel connected to, through Medicine Buddha, you will get what Tara will give, because in the end, they're all the same. And that sort of brings me to earlier, sometime maybe within the, I don't know, the 10th year of studying Buddhism, I started to feel, hey, why is it that there are all these supposedly high practices, and they're all with some other kind of Buddha? Why is it that they're not with Buddha Shakyamuni? Why is Buddha Shakyamuni left out of this, all this thing? Everyone is and making images and making prayers to this Buddha and that Buddha, but not Buddha Shakyamuni. Only during Saka Dawa, all of a sudden Shakyamuni Buddha has some sort of relevance again. And after Saka Dawa, okay, Shakyamuni's Buddha put back in the closet, and then now everybody's with Tara and with everybody else. Okay. But the thing is, whichever, and I think it's a bit like in Hinduism, not that it is the same, but it's a bit like Hinduism, where there are multiple, there are like a million forms. God has a million forms, and some people are more connected to God through this form, some through Ganesh, and some more connected to God through Krishna, some more connected to Rama, whatever it is, Sita, Saraswati. So, but through that one form, they're connected to all the forms. Okay, so and this is, you're supposed to be doing this, especially for those who are connected with Tibetan Buddhism, whatever, like for some reason or another, you're in a gathering and they're doing a ritual connected with Buddha, with Tara, for example. So you're supposed to consider this appearance of Tara is the appearance that all the other Buddhas are taking at this time to help me. And when you're doing some other kind of practice, some other gathering, and it happens to be, I don't know, Hivajra, and you say, all the Buddhas at this time are taking the form of Hivajra to help me. So whatever the form that you're dealing with, you're relating with, consider all the Buddhas are taking at that moment, taking that form for your sake. Okay. So all the Buddhas in the universe right now are taking the form of Buddha Shakyamuni for our sake. Okay. And why is this month so special? Is it special for every single person? If you're a Muslim, is it special for you? If you're a Christian, is it also special for you? Will everyone be collecting merit if multiplied, and depending on who you ask, some say thousands, hundreds of thousands of times more powerful. Some say hundreds of millions of times more powerful. Some may have some specific numbers at 3,864,563. I guess all they're saying is you're not going to remember the number anyway, so just know it's going to be multiplied, okay? And the reason it will multiply is not necessarily because somehow inherently in the month it's holy, it doesn't matter who you are, you're gonna get married. Is because there is a kind of community thing taking place. Every Buddhist on the planet, for them, this is a special month. And this month, this year is kind of special because it actually coincides because the Tibetans follow a lunar calendar. So it doesn't always fall around the same time. Last year it was earlier in the year. It was around April, and next year will be later. So something like that. Okay. But in the Theravadan traditions, they follow a different calendar. They follow mostly the solar calendar, so it always ends up in May. Okay. So this is the first time, by the way, it's Saka Dawa, it's the entire month, the 4th month of the Tibetan lunar calendar that is considered to be holy. And it is considered to be the month where merit is multiplied. So it's a wonderful time to collect merit because your merit will be multiplied. Okay, we're gonna get back to that later, to the juicy part. Why? Okay. It's the first time in a very long time where within the month, within the Saka Dawa, there's one day that is considered to be Duchen. Duchen means incredible great time, great occasion. Okay, and it is the 15th day of the month, and that's considered to be like the day. If throughout the month you didn't do anything, this is the day where it's like absolutely very potent. And they even say that day, if it's not just 100 million, it's, I don't know, 1,000 millions. Okay, 1,000 million fold. So it will be May 26th. And what makes it extremely special because it coincides with the Theravadan Vesak. Vesak is the Theravadan time when they celebrate Saka Dawa. or Saka Dawa Shakyamuni. And sometimes it's called Buddha Purnima. In Theravadan countries, that's what they will mostly call. They will call it Buddha Purnima, the day of the Buddha. Okay. And so, since this is a very special year, we have beautiful COVID happening. We have not only do we have COVID happening, we have beautiful little wars happening here and there. You know, humanity still being humans. So kind of special things are happening, coinciding. So for the first time in a very long time, Saka Dawa Shakyamuni, which is May 26th, will be the exact day and time that in the Theravadan countries that they will be celebrating also the Saka Dawa, what Tibetan calls Saka Dawa Shakyamuni. Okay, so if throughout the month you are too busy to collect merit, try to put that in your calendar. May 26th is the day that you actually try to collect some powerful merit. And why do we need to collect merit? You can consider merit to be it's like this is the term that I came up with, and it may not some people may not like it, especially socialist people. I call it spiritual currency. Okay, spiritual currency. And the way spiritual currency is spent is not always consciously. Okay. The way you spend spiritual currency consciously is with what is referred to as dedication. Okay, when you do something that is of spiritual power, that has merit, then immediately afterwards you dedicate it. Then you make a conscious dedication. I dedicate this towards this and that. Okay, that's the conscious way of spending spiritual currency. But most of the time, the way we spend spiritual currency is with our deepest desire, our deepest wishes. Okay, so you may not know what your deepest wishes are, but deep within you, there are these wishes that you may have. So spiritual currency is what makes those deep wishes possible to take place, to happen, to occur. And this is a very simple, I think, principle that is mentioned when you talk about karma. Okay. If you don't have it, it's because you don't. It's either because you did not collect the merit to get it, or the merit that you collected to get it, the time has not come for it to ripen yet. Okay, so if there's something that you want to take place in your life that you don't yet have, just by wanting it, just by thinking about it, then it's because it's either you have to go collect the merit for it. And so since this is a time when you invest one virtuous action and you get a return of 100 million fold, so this is a very good time to invest merit, to invest good deeds, to make an investment of good deeds. Okay, and for you not to squander it, because you may have some deep wishes that you that you on the surface may not really want, and by not consciously dedicating it, those merits, you may end up, that merit, that power may end up bringing into fruition those deep unconscious wishes that you have. Okay, that's something I tell everyone. Well, not everyone, but I tell some people sometimes, is that everything you have in life, you wished for it. And the way we wish for things are not necessarily conscious. We don't consciously wish for everything that we have, but we are at an unconscious level making wishes. And the way that these wishes find the power and the means to come to fruition is with what is referred to as store of merit, store of goodness that we have. It's just pure energy to manifest things. Okay. So that's why some people, they do this manifest ritual and boom, something incredible happens for them. And someone else, they do this manifest ritual and nothing happens for them. It's because the person who did this manifest ritual had the store of merit to tap into, to bring forth something that they want to take place in their lives. And the person who didn't get anything, what they were doing, if it was a virtuous thing, what they were doing was just collecting merit. They were just collecting energy. They didn't really have the energy yet for them to tap into, for them to manifest what they want. And that is a sort of a sign of having ready merit for you to tap into, when you don't necessarily have to do some extensive ritual for you to sort of get what you want. When you consciously want something and somehow things seems to merge, so things seems to come together, and then you see your wishes are being fulfilled without you necessarily doing any extra thing other than just wanting it. Okay, I would love to have cream puffs. and it is a sincere wanting to have cream puffs, and then that wanting sort of dives into my store of merit, and then if there's merit there, and then somebody comes knocking at my door, would you like some cream puffs? And then guess what just happened? I just wasted my store of merit on just cream puff. Of course, I will enjoy the cream puff, but that's it. The store of merit is gone. I use my merit to buy cream puff. Okay. But since this is a wonderful time, so what are the things that we can do? Let me give a little story about. I mean, everybody knows about Saka Dawa, but it's kind of nice to sort of relate the story. So this is supposed to be the month where the Buddha achieved the major milestones in his life, Shakyamuni Buddha. This is the month he was conceived. This is the month he was born. This is the month that he achieved enlightenment. And also this is the month that he also passed away. And the passing away of an enlightened being is not referred to as death, it's referred to as parinirvana, gone beyond nirvana, gone beyond peace. Okay. So this is the month. This is the astrological reason why this month is so revered in Buddhism. And the reason that it is a month for being, the reason that it is a month that affords for the capacity to collect a tremendous merit is because of the collective work that we are doing at the same time. Everywhere, all Buddhists, in some proximity or another, working together and collecting merit together. So it is the combined collective attitude that we are holding together collectively that makes it such a powerful month. So in the same way that for the Muslims, the month of Ramadan is powerful for them because they're doing it something collectively, because they're not necessarily doing anything other than what they sometimes do in other times, but it becomes more powerful for them because of the the power of doing something together. That's what makes the Sangha such a powerful, that's what makes the community also an object that you can rely on, an object that you can put your trust in because of the collective power, the power of collective. As a matter of fact, so you have a fully enlightened being who encompasses within himself or herself the power of a collective, the power of a community. Okay, so an arhat is said to be somebody who's reached enlightenment, nirvana is said to be worth 4 holy people. Okay, So 4 holy people in the collective power equals 1 arhat. And because you could say an arhat, in that arhat's being has the collective power of 4 holy people, you could say, okay? And the Buddha has the collective power, or the collective power of an entire community, okay? So because we are working towards this as a community, because of that, then we have the capacity to collect a lot of merit. Okay. Before we go into the merit part, I want to talk a little bit about. I'll make you cry a little bit. Okay, ready to cry a little bit? It's a good cry. It's not a sad cry. It's a good cry. Okay. There's a beautiful poem written by Jetson Kappa. I was looking for it and I found it, but I didn't find it the format that I wanted. It's called the three-timer. And the reason that it's called a three-timer is because how it begins with 3 timers. And 3-timer is a title for a particular type of a god. Okay. And the reason they're called 3-timers is because there are 3 events in their lives that are very significant. There's the time that they're born as a god, and there's a time that they live as a god. They have a wonderful time, and then there's so that's being born as a god and living wonderful, and then there's a time where they finally the sign of aging comes to them. And when the sign of aging comes to them, all of a sudden they lose all their friends. Nobody wants to hang out with them anymore. So they have a time of loneliness because now they're aging. And the final time is now they finally die. Yes, in Buddhism, gods die. They are born and they die. And all of us here, according to Buddhism, have been gods many times over. Okay. So, so these kinds of beings, they achieve the status of godhood through merit, through doing virtue. You don't become a god just because of you hit the lotto. You work diligently. You work deliberately at being at compassion, being compassionate, being generous. Doing all the things that are not just selfish, and then you end up being eventually one of those they call sometimes long life beings. You live for a very long time. And these kinds of beings, because of this vast store of merit that they have, as soon as they want something, the thing that they want automatically appears to them. Okay, so that's the correlation I wanted to make with when we collect. It's like it's not like they are a completely different kind of being. They are the same. We have the capacity. We have the potential to be them. They have the potential to be us. We are the same essence. We have the same essence. So in that essence that makes a being, when there is sufficient merit, that the amount of merit allows for simultaneous wish fulfillment. Okay, so you may have merit, then you make a wish, and it only a little bubble comes up, not the full thing. Okay. I wanted cream puff. I wanted a box of cream puffs. I only get one. I got one cream puff. And I went to the store to get the cream puff. They didn't have the size I wanted. They wanted the size. They only have another size. So my wish sort of came true, but I didn't have the full merit to get exactly what I wanted. But I got something. I got a little bit of. I got the cream puff anyway. Okay. All right. So. So that's in that poem that Jetson Kappa wrote. It was an ode to Buddha Shakyamuni. There's a part where he sort of is recalling the different lives, what happens to the Buddha. And the reason that he mentioned the three timers is a poetic way of talking about the life, long live, those who have great merit, basically. We recognize you to be supreme among those who have collected merit, because the merit that you have collected granted you the ultimate goal of being fully awakened. Okay, and they all bow to you. But this is not the reason why I'm telling you the story about the ode to Shakyamuni. Somewhere in there, when my teacher was teaching Vinaya, that was the book of rules and discipline for the ordained. And there was there's a part in there where he was teaching this poem, and he got to the part where he was describing in this eon, in our time, we are living in a very fortunate time. It is called very fortunate. It's called the Golden Eon, or the fortunate eon, the fortunate age. And the reason that it is golden and fortunate is because in our age, not in our lifetime, okay? Sorry, not in our lifetime, you wish. But in this age, okay, 1,000 enlightened beings will appear. And this is something that is, you know, this is very rare in the cosmos. In the universe, this is very rare, because a Buddha appears to, only one Buddha appears to a world at a time. Okay, like through I mean, in an age. Okay, not in a world, but in an age. Only one Buddha appears in an age. During the life of the world, many Buddhas may appear, but only one during during an age. Okay. So we are living in a very special age called the Golden Age, where 1,000 Buddhas will appear, and Buddha Shakyamuni is the fourth of the 1,000. So we have about 996 left. I think my addition is correct. We have about that many left. But among all of those, among all the 1,000, Buddha Shakyamuni is unique. Why is Buddha Shakyamuni unique? Because in the poem of Ode to Shakyamuni, there's a place where Jason Kappa is sort of describing a scene. Imagine a scene where a bunch of very advanced beings who are about to be enlightened or already enlightened are sitting in a conference. Yes, the Buddhas have conferences. I'm not sure if they use Zoom or not, but I think they use something more direct, like emanation. So in some corner of the galaxy, these 1,000 very advanced beings had a conference, and they were sort of like, they had the conference to decide, okay, all right, okay, who's going to be the first one? Okay, me. I'll be the first one. Who's going to be the second? Okay, me. And who's going to be the third? Okay, when will you appear? Okay, you will appear on that time. Okay, you will appear on that time. Okay, you will appear on that time. Okay, all right. And then there was one particular time that was not chosen. Nobody chose. Nobody chose that time. Because, you know, a Buddha appearing in the world is a cosmic event, and everyone on the planet must be able to must have the merit to be able to recognize, oh, look at this incredible, beautiful being who just appeared in our midst, right? So Buddhas appear when situations are like that, when the beings, when almost everyone on the planet has the merit to see this being. So there was one time that everyone skipped over, and it was our time. Okay, so there's a big age that we live in, and there are different times in that big age. Okay, our time is considered to be a degenerate time, a time when there's fake news. There's a big epidemic. Instead of cooperating, instead of having compassion for each other, we are blaming each other instead of, we take delight in greed, we take delight in wars, we take delight in things that are basically non-virtuous. People are making a killing out of stealing. It seems people seem to prosper in doing things that are wrong. And not that everyone is like that, but that is prevalent. Most countries, most nations have some sort of corruption going on. That seems to be the prevalent thing. So at such a degenerate time, Buddhas usually, that's the cosmic rule, okay? Buddhas don't usually make an appearance in those places. So, but out of compassion for us, Buddha Shakyamuni sort of volunteered to be to appear in our time. And then, they said, don't you know that only one country will recognize you? and your Dharma, the teaching that you teach will last only maybe 5,000 years, that's it. And a lot of people will misunderstand what you're saying. They will misuse what you're saying. But the Buddha said, the Buddha did something, and this is with merit again. And this is the part that when my teacher was telling us the story, a lot of us started crying. So from that moment on, the Buddha said, not only will I practice and have the merit to manifest Buddhahood, but I will also collect extra merit so that I can be born at a degenerate time to help those who otherwise would not know the Dharma at all, would have no connection with Dharma at all. So the Buddha collected extra merit just to be born in a degenerate time. And not only that, he dedicated a lot of extra merit for those who, in very tough time like this, when it is easier to be persuaded to go to do things that are non-virtuous, when the social pressure to do what is right is, it's against anyone, so that when those people decide to follow the Dharma, to do what's right, to decide to follow what is true instead of what is false, to align themselves that way, the extra merit that he collect may be given to them, dedicated to them, so that they can have the necessities that they need for their path. Okay, so that is one of the extra reasons why Buddha Shakyamuni is really revered, because of the extra compassion that he showed us in this age, in this time. When you could say, when even the other Buddhas didn't see us as worthy of their presence, he saw us as worthy, and he came to us. And not only did he come to us he taught all what is referred to as all the levels, all the different means of achieving being fully awakened. Okay, so we are very, very grateful, very, very grateful to Buddha Shakyamuni for that. And that's a reason we celebrate Saka Dawa especially, and when we consider the special compassion of Buddha Shakyamuni, and we feel great gratitude towards him, it makes our merit even more powerful to remember that. Okay, so that's the story. That's the Saka Dawa. So what are the things that we can do to collect merit? And I sort of give you what is, in essence, what you might call, what is definition of merit. Remember, merit is spiritual, call it spiritual energy, that which makes wishes come true. Okay, in a sense, in a very sort of simple way of saying it. So when you want something, what sincerely, and you find it very difficult for that to appear in your life, two reasons. Not enough merit for it to manifest fast enough, early enough, and two, obstacles. There are obstacles within you or somewhere that are preventing either for this energy to ripen your wish to make it come true, or either the obstacles or either the presence of obstacles or lack of merit. So during this time, if there is something that you want, and I mean anything that you want sincerely, and don't worry about whether I want bodhicitta. I mean, that's nice, but do you really want bodhicitta? Do you really understand what bodhicitta is for you to actually want it? Okay, now be sincere. Okay, be sincere, be truthful. What do you really yearn after? Okay, whether it's relationship, whether it's career, whether it's friends, whatever it is that you want. Okay, and you want it, and it's not. Well, I've been wanting this for 2 years now. Nothing has shown up yet. So it's okay. All right. This is the golden opportunity. This is Saka Dawa. Now I can collect the merit. I can collect the spiritual energy to make my wishes, to at least make my wishes be able to manifest to some degree. At least a bubble. Okay. So now you understand what merit is, why you would like to do it. So you're going to do collect merit, and also you're going to do purification. And there are things that are only purification, or you could say mostly purification. There are things that are mostly merit collection. But everything is a combination of two. It's either one is more of the other. Okay. So whenever you're doing one, you're also doing the other. Okay, at some degree. So if you're doing a practice that is mainly purification, there is also some collection of merit taking place. When you're doing a practice that is mostly collecting merit, there's also some purification taking place. Okay, and these are the traditional things that are done during a Saka Dawa, and that's what I'm going to mention. But you don't necessarily have to do any of these. These things could be inspiration for you. Okay, the thing is something that is done from a place of sincere wisdom, some place that is done from a place of sincere love, sincere compassion, sincere devotion. Okay, any of these sincere intentions anything done with these is either purification, can be purification, it can also be merit collection. Okay, you can and things that you do on a daily basis, even if you live alone. Okay, like if you sincerely thinking about or people who don't have clean water to drink while you're about to have a glass of water, you have sincere compassion for them. That's merit. Okay, and the more sincere you do it, the more powerful it is. If I tell you to go circumambulate I don't know, some temple somewhere, and you have no sense of connection to the temple, you have no belief in circumambulation's power, that's not going to be powerful for you. Okay, all right. All right, so these are some of the things. And you have the entire month to decide. You can do a week of these things during the month. No, a lunar month has 30 days. So it started Tuesday, right? So or you can decide to do some of these things on one special day during the month, or better yet, choose the Saka Dawa Duchen, which will be May 26th. Okay, if that's when you have time, you might even want to do that. Take that day, do a retreat for just that day or something. Okay. All right, these are the things that people do usually during Saka Dawa. Out of compassion, some people refrain from eating meat. Okay, and this is something that actually I found out way later that my teacher, who was a very traditional Tibetan, meaning if there's no meat on the plate, it's not a meal. I found out way later, he actually, later in his life, he became a vegetarian. And there's one teacher that I know whose student is who will, even though nowadays in the monasteries, most monasteries nowadays are vegetarian. That is, in the monastery itself, they don't prepare anything other than vegetarian. But it doesn't mean that people are forbidden from eating meat. So if you want, you can go out and eat. But you can get a special special note from your doctor saying that you need to eat meat. So those people with those special special notes from the doctors, they can eat meat in the monastery. Okay, it's like the carrier badge. Okay, sorry, I can eat meat. Right? So this teacher, his student is will find all the different reasons to eat meat. And the reason I'm making that connection with him because his teacher, which is also one of my teachers nowadays, doing Saka Dawa, he becomes vegetarian. He becomes vegetarian doing Saka Dawa. So that's one thing that is done doing Saka Dawa. So if you're already a vegetarian, okay, all right. Now continue a vegetarian with that intention. I am now doing this month, continuing my vegetarianism for that purpose, and that becomes merit collection for you. Okay. No, it's just like, well, I don't kill people. How is that merit for me? Refraining from killing. How is that merit for me? So just holding that intention, I will not kill. That's making it a conscious thing to do that makes it a merit, something that you collect merit with. Okay. All right. So the other thing that they do is they make donations. Okay. You make donations to places that you feel are objects worthy of donations, that you trust in what they're doing. And what they're doing is alignment with what you consider to be meaningful and worthy. Okay. And you can make, and you can also say, okay, whoever I see in the street who asks for money, I'll give a quarter. Okay. And that becomes a practice for you. And when you're doing these actions, you must be consciously aware that I'm doing this. But don't make it transactional, like, oh, I'm collecting merit. But rather, let it be out of compassion I'm giving, out of concern I'm giving. Let compassion and wisdom, let those things be the main motivating factor. And that's what makes the merit more powerful. Okay. Okay, so you can make donations to whoever, whatever cause. And this is something that a lot of people ask me, okay, what prayers do you say during Saka Dawa? Well, during Saka Dawa, you say all prayers. As a matter of fact, during Saka Dawa is the month where in some monasteries, you can sort of, monasteries, nunneries, they're already doing that. You can sort of say, okay, I donate such and such donation so for this activity that you're already doing, so that you participate in the merit of that also. Like a lot of monasteries will be doing what they call just reading the Kangyur. The Kangyur is the collection of texts that are attributed to be the direct words of the Buddha. And that's supposed to be, that has merit in it, to recite, to read those scriptures. And they read they read the entire library of the words of the Buddha, not the commentaries, for during the month of, and they have a lot of people, like the way we used to do it, I would like it would be my turn, and I read, and then someone continues from where I left off, almost as if one person was reading, okay? But different people take turn. And if they have a lot of people doing it at a time, okay, you give this volume to this group, give volume to this group, and they read it, okay? So since the monastery or the nunnery or the center is doing that collectively, so it's that's the collective power, and you can gain, you can collect some merit by donating for that to take place. Okay, or you can say you sponsor that. So that's another thing that they do. So in terms of so that's reciting scriptures. In terms of what prayers or what practices to do, any practice you do, even if a practice that you've been doing all your life. Okay, during this time when you're doing it, knowing that you're doing Saka Dawa, consciously doing it, that gives you it makes it extra merit. And if there's some other kind of thing, if you don't have a practice that you do, so take any practice that you feel some connection with. Recite refuge prayers. Recite what are called mantras, different mantras of, especially the mantra of Buddha Shakyamuni. The mantra of Buddha Shakyamuni. The first time I encountered the mantra of Buddha Shakyamuni, it was Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye Shakimuni svāhā. And later on, there's a little abbreviated form of it. It's just we move the Shakya part. Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā. Okay, so either one of those, Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā, Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye Shakimuni svāhā. Either one of those, you just recite it. No, 7 times, 20 times, or 1 mala. It's very short. You can do that. Or you can recite some other kind of mantra that's sort of popular, the mantra of Avalokiteshvara, the embodiment of compassion. Om I'm forgetting. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. That's very easy, and that's something that Tibetans recite even while they almost like constantly, especially the older generation. They just Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, and that one you can recite like you can do 1,000 malas in an hour. It's so brief. Okay, and take your time. Okay, so and whatever other mantra you feel connected to, you recite it at that time. Tara mantra, whatever mantra. Okay, medicine Buddha mantra. Okay, all right. And there are some physical activities you can do, and like what is called Korwa Circumambulation. If there's something, it could be if you don't have access to a place that is nearby where you can go to do circumambulation, then you can have the image of it in your home and consider that you are in the actual presence of that place, the holy place, or because the holy places are inside of us, right? So you can have that, consider that, or an image of someone that is the embodiment for you of what is truly meaningful. And you circumambulate that, and you're supposed to do it clockwise. Okay, clockwise. I don't know how my fingers are seeming to show going on. If it appears to be counterclockwise, I'm actually doing clockwise. Okay. Okay, clockwise. You do Korwa Circumambulation. Okay, or it could be a text that has a lot of meaningful instructions in it for you. You circumambulate that text. Okay, or a place if you can get to it. And this is also the time when people actually do pilgrimage. Like they would travel towards some holy place and then spend the time in doing circumambulation there. Okay. Another thing you can do that is physical is prostrations. Okay, you can do prostrations. You can do full-length prostrations, or you can do just half prostrations. Okay. You all know how to do prostrations, right? Yeah, you all know how to do prostrations. It's in a physical way demonstrating reverence, whatever that is for you, a physical way demonstrating reverence. Okay. I guess I can tell you that. I think maybe it was doing Saka Dawa or something like that. And the only holy place that I know of to visit was the museum. I went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art because there was all these, Buddhist artifacts there. And whenever I came across an image of a statue or a painting, I would do just like this, and I would recite the Refuge Prayer. And I did this. I didn't know. I thought it was just a little collection. I would just do. I ended up doing it in front of every single statue that I saw, every single image that I saw. And that was it. And I left it like that because, and that night I had this most wonderful dream. I dreamt that I was actually visited by the Buddha. The Buddha actually came to visit me and spoke in French to me. Yeah, that was sort of like telling me, yeah, you're not just dreaming this, okay? Whereas in your normal dream, no one speaks in French. Okay. I'm speaking in French to you to make you really remember, okay? So things like that can happen, okay? Just doing this, but it's what's in your heart. It's not just the physical posture. If you can do it, good, full length. If you can't, if all you can do is show some sense of genuine physical sign of reverence, you do that, okay? That's what people do. Oh, and there were times I was in Dharamsala doing Saka Dawa. Oh my goodness! If you ever been to Dharamsala, Dharamsala is filled with beggars, and especially in front of the any monastery, any nunnery, any place like that, because people are going over there. They have they want to do good deeds, and how would you not want to give a beggar? So after a few days you stop, but in the beginning you give. But during Saka Dawa, it's like all the beggars leave all the other areas and come to Dharamsala because they know that people will be giving at that time to collect merit. So if you know any beggars, tell them to go. They make a killing. I'm not sure about during COVID time, but that's the time for beggars to make a nice killing, because people are giving to beggars. They're not questioning beggars anymore. They just give. Okay. So you can do that. So no matter, and the thing is, it would be difficult, especially sometimes it's very easy for us to say, what are they going to do with that money, right? What are they going to do with that money? But don't think that, okay? So even if that person eventually is going to do something harmful with that, when you give, say, may this become a good use to someone through this person, okay? So give that way. Other things to do. I hope we have enough time, right? We have to make offerings on your altar. Have a nice altar and then make offerings. Offer butter lamps, candles, light. Butter lamps is just that's how they used to. Butter was in huge abundance, much more abundant than kerosene, I guess, in Tibet. That's why they have butter lamps. So whatever way you can offer light, okay? Oh yeah, this is something that we used to do in Howell, New Jersey. We used to go to a fish market, buy live fish, crabs, and then release them in the wild. Of course, some people say, what are you doing? You're just delaying their inevitable death. Some bigger fish is going to eat them in the pond. You say, yeah, but at least now they have a fighting chance. Okay. But if that doesn't make sense to you, then you don't have to do that. This is just something that people. The thing is to have to demonstrate a sincere reverence for life wherever life is manifesting. Okay. If you have some sort of a pest problem, hold off until next month. Okay. Try not to kill them. Okay. And go to, and then this is the thing that they do. They like, there was this guy who actually, this Kalmuk back in Howell, who was in the Vietnam War. And he said he was just shooting, not aiming, he's just shooting just to, I guess, not get fired, or I guess, not to get reprimanded. He was just shooting until the war was over. And then he said, I'm not sure if I kill anyone. Just in case I kill someone, I want to atone for that. And my teacher told him, go buy a goat and take care of the goat until the goat naturally dies. So he did that, went, bought a goat, and then took care of the goat until the goat naturally died. And the goat lived a very long life, actually. Yeah. So you can do things like that. Okay. So that act was a purification for him, but for you, it's an act of merit. Okay. So it doesn't really matter what you do. It's your intention that makes it either merit or merit collecting. I mean, mainly merit collecting, or mainly purification practice. Okay. One thing that some people do, and if you're very brave, throughout the month, every day you take the 8 precepts. And some people take the 8 precepts on that very special day, that would be May 26th. And the 8 precepts, what you're doing is you're basically pretending to be a bodhisattva. Not just any bodhisattva, you're pretending to be a bodhisattva arhat. Okay. So just like a bodhisattva has compassion for all beings, you avoid all harm, especially any kind of killing. And of course, it's not like we are a bunch of people who, every once in a while we go kill somebody. But just avoiding harming. Okay, avoid harming. And respect the properties of others in a very, 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 very acute way. Even, taking a penny or something that's worth a penny, not even taking that. Okay. What if it's not owned by you, you don't use it without permission. Okay. Even if it's like your roommates, I don't know, your roommates, whatever. Okay. So especially during this month, avoid doing that. And for that one day, it's for one day you take it. So in the very beginning of the day, right at sunrise, you take the precepts. I vow I call the presence of the enlightened being, and in their presence, I vow to avoid doing these things today. Just like the bodhisattvas did do this, just like the arhats did, I vow to do that today. I take the precepts of avoiding killing, avoid stealing, avoid sexual activity, avoid lying and deceiving others, avoid intoxicants. It's only for one day, okay? You can live one day without drinking. Now in New York, you can smoke. You can avoid one day. You can not smoke. Okay, I know you're celebrating finally in New York. You can smoke now. No, the real stuff. Now you're finally can smoke weed. Now you're celebrating that. Now for one day you can hold off on that. Okay. The thing is, whatever intoxicates you, whatever, especially things that sort of have an effect on your capacity of your mental capacity, avoid them. You want to keep your mind as fresh as possible. Okay. Of course, if it's medicine, of course, medicine is a different story. You should take your medicine. Some medicine have alcohol, some medicine have some hard drugs in them. You can take them. Okay. And then you fast for that day. And the way Buddhists fast is they eat what is called the noonday meal only. They don't eat after that. After that, you only are allowed to satiate thirst. Sorry about that. I just remembered. Uh, so this is monks. Monks are supposed to do that for their life of being a monk, right? Only eat one meal a day, the noonday meal, because you're not out there working in a factory. You're not out there, with making your brain, frying your brain with work. So you're basically studying, and once in a while you go out to walk, and then you don't need that much food. Okay, and since the food that you're eating is food that is prepared by someone for you, so you don't want to bother them 3 times a day coming to the home. Okay, breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper. Okay, just bother them for once a day and then leave them alone. Okay, so and the noonday meal is considered to be the main meal in many agricultural cultures. That's when people have their biggest meal, around noontime. Okay. It's only nowadays, I don't know, because everybody's, I guess, have left, most cultures have left agricultural behind. Now, the biggest meal that most people have is at night or the evening. But most agricultural cultures, it was during the middle of the day, because that's when you really needed it, because you were working really hard. So you would have just that meal, and then you don't eat anymore, but you can drink water. And this is why I was laughing, because it doesn't state to drink water. You say you can have liquid. So some monks were trying to bypass this. Basically, they were basically having smoothies, juicing every single thing that you can think of. And these things were so thick, you can actually take take a fork in there and eat it. So a rule came out. If you can stick a fork to it and the fork stands, you cannot have it. But if the fork falls, it's liquid enough, you can drink it. Now, you know why there's over 200 rules, right? It's because some smart Alex, oh, all right. we can drink, we can eat. You have people having the whole salad and pureeing. Okay, follow the spirit of it. Okay, just have one meal, and when you have that meal, you don't have to eat fast. You don't have a time allotted to you. Okay, take your time, eat until you really feel, okay, I'm satisfied. Then you don't eat anymore. If you're hungry, you think about, let that remind you of those who are hungry. But if you're thirsty, you can drink. Don't drink avocado puree, okay? Don't drink dal. You can have light juice, but try to just have water if you're thirsty, okay? And know whether what you're satiating, is it hunger or is it thirst? You know your body, okay? Okay, so you avoid that. And part of the 8, since it is called Mahayana, and it is the main purpose of it is compassion, bodhicitta. So you also don't eat meat that day. That part of your meal is not should not include meat. Okay. And okay, all right. Some people are saying, what about chicken? What about fish? Okay. The answer is, when it was alive, when you were hungry and you were approaching it, they'll run away from you. If it ran away from you, you should avoid it. When you're hungry and you go to a Brussels sprout, does the Brussels sprout run away from you? Maybe it's trying to, but you can't see it. But it's not able to make that effort for you to actually avoid it. But if it's trying to run away from you, then you avoid it. Okay, that's the answer. But what about chicken and stuff? Okay, okay. There's a smart addict to say, what if it's asleep? The thing is, if it's alive, it's aware of you trying to approach it, and it knows you're hungry. It runs away from you rather than run towards you. Avoid it. Okay. All right. And the last two of the 8 Mahāyana precepts are basically avoid luxury. Okay. The number 7 is avoid luxury, luxury bedding, luxury sitting. Avoid those kinds of things. I mean, if if all you have is just one chair, and it's what determines whether it's a luxury or not? I mean, okay. Okay. What if you're a king and you only have golden seats in your house? What do you do? If it's luxury, okay, have a mat on the floor. Okay. The thing is avoid luxury, avoid indulging in luxury, and that also includes number 8, like jewelry and perfume. Avoid those kinds of things. So for that day, avoid perfume. Avoid, and also it says to avoid singing and dancing. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be happy, but rather let your happiness come from something deeper, rather than something something temporary, something very temporary. Okay. All right. Okay, so these are the 8 precepts, and you would take them, usually you would take them from someone who's taken them earlier. But if there's no such person around, you can do it. You can do it yourself. Okay, it's there are a lot of these ceremonies, how to take the 8 precepts online. You can download them, and then if you decide to do that, you can do it on that day. Okay, especially on the 26th. Very auspicious to do it that day. Okay. Okay. All right. So these are the kinds of traditional things that people do to collect merit. And these things can be things that you do, what you actually do, or they can simply be an inspiration for you. Okay? You can be inspired by them, and then create something that is of merit. Okay, something that is mainly motivated by compassion, by love, and by at least a sense of humility. I don't know. I wish I know, but I don't know. And out of that humility, I'm doing this. Okay. Wishing to know one day I'm doing this. Okay. You don't have to go around, becoming a pain in people, where it's come from your karma, baby, from your karma. Your karma did that to you. Sometimes it's good news to hear that. Sometimes it's not so good news to hear that. Okay. All right. All right. So I think, are we at top of the hour? What does that mean, top of the hour, anyway? Top of the hour. Okay. All right. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Okay. Now, I really would like us to do this experiment with this month. Okay. Don't test it by, okay, I wish I could be an astronaut who goes to, I don't know, goes to Mars. Okay. Don't do that. Okay. The thing is, do you sincerely believe that could happen to you? Okay. So you have to have some sincerity in that it is something that you can actually have. Okay. and then do the merits, and then in order for you not to lose the merit, immediately dedicate it, okay? By the power of giving this beggar 25 cents, may, and then that's it. And that's dedicating it. Now that merit is stored, it will not be frivolously used just to get cream puffs. Okay. All right, so no questions. So we're gonna do our last meditation. It's almost, wow, I didn't know I was talking for so long. And the meditation that we're gonna do, I'd like us to do the Shakyamuni mantra together. Go back to the image of Shakyamuni or the jewel in front of you. And as you recite the Shakyamuni mantra, think those two things, the things that you want to fill your life. The golden light is filling you, is making all the necessary conditions, all the optimum conditions within you, outside of you, possible for you to actually to have it. And all the things that are in your way, see the golden light removing them from you. Okay. No matter what it is. Okay. All right. So get ready. And the most important thing to remember from this talk is the power of merit. Okay. All right. Tell yourself that you're going to meditate. Allow the natural intelligence within you that understands, that knows even better than you what meditation is. Allow it to give you guidance, how to position the body, how to breathe, and begin to reconnect with the meditative state that you left by simply remembering, I felt that way in my body, I felt that way in my breath, I felt that way in my mind. And just by remembering it, you begin to reconnect. And as soon as you begin to have a taste of it, let go into it. And we will sign the contract of entering again, the commitment to enter with a deep breath, gently through the nose, gently, fully breathe in. And through the mouth, get ready to completely release. Let go. Take a moment to familiarize yourself with the signs that are present in the body, in the breath, and the mind. Now see us, wherever you are, sitting in a circle. And at the level of our foreheads, in the very center, the Kuntu Nobu, the all-encompassing precious jewel, is appearing in the image of Buddha Shakyamuni. Or if you don't want to see an image of a person, then a jewel, which represents all the best, all that is meaningful to all of us. And we are connected to it with strings of rainbow light coming from our hearts to Shakyamuni's hearts. And in Shakyamuni's heart, there's this sound, Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā, Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā, Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā, Om Muni mahāmuniye svāhā. And as this sound continues to reverberate and you begin to hear it, and as you hear it louder and louder, you start to see this mantra making waves, golden waves of light coming from the heart of Shakyamuni Buddha, coming straight to our foreheads. And as it enters our foreheads, it fills our heads with golden light. And as it fills our heads with golden light, we have the two ideas. We are being purified. Whatever is in our way is being removed. Whether they are internal obstacles, external obstacles, they're being removed. And whatever conditions are necessary for you to fulfill your wish are being collected within you. Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā. Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā. Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā. Om Muni svāhā. Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye 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 svāhā. Keep going. And just like before, the image begins to expand and begin to expand. And it expands, it incorporates, dissolves into itself everything that it touches. So it touches all of us, and we all become the normal, the precious jewel. And it continues to expand, and we are now sending light from our hearts, helping everyone, family members, friends, neighbors. Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā. 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 Keep feeling, keep hearing the mantra, and it continues to expand. The entire neighborhood, all our family, everyone who's close to us is now part of this one being, this all-encompassing jewel, concern, collective compassion, collective love, collective wisdom, collective concern for each other, until the entire earth with all nature, rivers, mountains, trees, birds, all life, all the earth has become this all-encompassing jewel, and we radiate being. Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā. 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 So that one presence, that's us, appearing in our highest potentials in the form of Buddha Shakyamuni. And in the same way, we instinctively feel the need to go to the rescue of our toe, of our left hand with the right, without thinking that we are helping someone else, but we are helping ourselves. In the same way, we feel the same compassionate concern for all life, for all neighbors. And now, a very special recitation of the mantra. Focus on something that you're really, really concerned about. It could be your life, something about happening in your life. There's a specific obstacle you want to remove, a specific aspiration you want to fulfill, or it could be for someone you know, something that's happening in their life you want them to be free of, something that you want them to encounter. And see light coming from you, from us as Shakyamuni Buddha, sending golden light rays to yourself or to that person. And it's that person is like part of us. Remember, it's like the left hand needs help and the right hand is going to help. Om Muni Muni mahāmuniye svāhā. 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 Dwell in the joy of the right hand having taken care of the left. The all-encompassing jewel, us, having taken care of that one part of us, which is you or your friend or whoever. Rejoice. And maintaining that sense of us, lost in the image of Shakyamuni Buddha. Now that image begin to shrink, and wherever it leaves like sparks of itself, shine of itself, until it becomes an image in our very center. And in our very center, and we see each other again in a circle, and we are shining very brightly. Like we went through the most powerful kind of shower cleaning possible. And we are shining brilliantly. And the sense of us is still with us. And Shakyamuni Buddha dissolves into rays of light that enters, that travels on rays of rainbow lights to enter each one of our hearts. And now each one of us is the all-encompassing jewel. You're the all-encompassing jewel for yourself, and you're the all-encompassing jewel for those you encounter. So whatever you do for you, you're doing for us. Whatever you do for us, you're doing for you. And feeling ready to arise from the meditation. First, dedicate tonight. Gyewa di kyoken Senam yeshe tsodzok shin Senam yeshe lechongwe Tamba kunye doba sho. So that's a guide of how to dedicate something to the virtue of may such and such happen. Okay, with the intention to arise, take a nice deep breath, feel it, hear it, in through the nose, out the mouth. And slowly let yourself reconnect deliberately, consciously with your immediate surroundings through your sense of touch. Feel the cushion, feel your clothing, feel the temperature, through your sense of hearing, the sounds that are close, the sounds that are far. Then through your sense of sight, notice colors, notice shapes, notice light, notice shadows. Okay. Thank you very much. Enjoy this wonderful Saka Dawa. Thank you.
Thank you, Phuntsok. Thank you, everyone, for joining, for meditating and chanting together. Please consider offering dana for this home series, which goes towards maintaining and developing more offerings to share with everyone. And you can practice generosity through these individual donations through Venmo or through ongoing support through Patreon. And another small announcement is we've uploaded some guided meditations on Phuntsok's YouTube page, which I'll post the link in the chat. And it's just a treasure trove of different meditations like the one we did today, and meditations on self-compassion, forgiveness, the 6 preliminaries, and even a purification meditation, which would be really wonderful to do during this time. So check those out, and I hope everyone has a meaningful Saka Dawa, and may we all feel powerful togetherness as we practice together this month, and feel bathed in the golden light of Shakyamuni, and may everyone's secret wishes come true.
So nice.